We make the strings
louder.
What's up, guys? This is gonna be part 10 and a half of the Supra. As you can tell, I'm a little bit tired. One of you guys messaged me on Snapchat, so I'm a little run down. Before I just started this video out, I did the whole like peeling my eyes open. Just hard to kind of believe that the first Supra video has like over 1 million views on it, which is pretty crazy. But it's coming along a little bit. You know, since when we first got it, a little bit at least. I still need to pull off this thing and weld it. But the purpose of this video today is gonna be like a 10.5, basically continuing what happened in the last video. But I'm actually gonna be able to do a little time lapse footage. I switched my memory card, basically that old China one. A lot of you guys were commenting and saying that they like to overwrite themselves, that they're actually not a 256 gig card. So yeah, I got rid of the memory card, and should be having you guys on a little time lapse today. But basically, the goal for this video is going to be just to get these things fully welded in and kind of ready to kind of start doing body work on the engine bay. I'm not sure if I'll actually get any body work done in this video, but I for sure want to get these things welded. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to follow the theme of less talking, more working, and I'm just going to throw you guys on the time lapse. For the most part, I'll explain a few things here and there. But yeah, here we go. Uh-oh, I'm already starting to talk about stuff. David, we did David's trailer fenders with the Rhino liner. If you guys have seen in the circle track video that you should have seen last week or whatever. But yeah, and we got the girlfriend sob all done. Got a donor car for that. So now I could focus on this thing. You know, get girlfriend taken care of. Jesse's car's done. Aaron's thing is kind of my last, you know, like obligation thing that I kind of got to fulfill before I could really start kind of focusing on this thing. Still need to do the little refresh on the drift car, but yeah, we're gonna start working on this. Alright guys, so I got these things pretty much finalized and welded on the back side. It seems like they're pretty much gonna go ahead and you can see right here it welded through pretty much on the front side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of flapper wheel or grind that off a little bit and then get it finalized to weld in the car. A lot of people were wondering why I left a lot of this inner fender well there. I figured that just adds a little bit of strength to it, and I mean, it's not really going to affect anything with the inner fender well or whatever, or I hope it doesn't. So yeah, pretty much I just wanted to leave a little bit of strength in here, and so yeah, basically what I'm going to do to seal that up, basically because that is bare metal, is I'm going to use this weld through primer on all these seams and stuff. And then when we get it all finalized, I'm going to try to spray some like epoxy primer up in there to seal it all up. And there's going to be an inner fender well in there, like a plastic inner fender well. Here in Colorado, we don't use any salt on our roads or anything like that. And this thing's definitely not going to be like, you know, driven in like the snow or the rain or anything crazy like that. I mean, the occasional rainstorm if I'm going to an event or something. But yeah, I think it's going to turn out pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and probably scuff this up a little bit more and then hit it with that weld through primer, and then basically just get those things. Basically, I'm going to hit the insides of these with the weld through primer as well, just to kind of get them sealed up a little bit and then and ready for welding. There's a lot of little, you can see right here, just welds and stuff. That's some pretty thin metal right there where somebody was already kind of trying to weld and kind of breaking through. I'm going to be using some of the 3M panel bond and basically kind of mixing it up like Bondo and kind of just filling in those holes and kind of filling in some of the other seams and stuff around here, and that'll definitely seal it up really good. I mean, that stuff's really awesome. You know, it's basically like waterproof and sealed good, and it doesn't, you know, won't crack or shrink or do anything crazy like body filler would. So I'm gonna get back at it. So yeah, I was able to get a couple hours of work on this thing tonight. Definitely excited to get this other little little part finished up here. So basically now all I got to do is finish welding this thing off, weld the other holes, grind a bunch of crap, and then I could basically start doing body filler on the engine bay, which is pretty exciting, because as soon as the engine bay is done, basically that's what's been holding me up this whole time, is worrying about the engine bay and how it's going to turn out. But now hopefully they don't have to worry about that. High build prime it and get that all basically finalized. High build prime the rest of the car, block the engine bay, sand it, whatever. Then it's ready to spray. So that's why it's taking so long, is pretty much me just holding myself up on the engine bay, not knowing what I wanted to do. But she's done now. No turning back. Back at it again with continuing the Supra video like 2 weeks later. Sorry, before I went to Florida I wasn't able to actually get that video out to you guys, or this video out to you guys, but it's a couple weeks later now. It'll probably be a couple more days until you guys see this, but yeah, so if you guys seen my whole pallet rack extravaganza, stacking cars up there to make some more room, super excited. It should be able to focus a little bit more on the Supra. The Civic was really like just ruining my day as far as like it being around and in the way and just like stacking stuff on it. The S14, that was the big shelf over there, and it is now a shelf on a shelf. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, I know a lot of you Supra guys are just kind of hanging out for the Supra, but if you want to see how we did that, be sure to check out that video. So last time I was filming, I just basically got this stuff all tacked. I was talking to Brandon today, and he told me pretty much I just need to go about every inch or so and get this tack welded. And once it's all tack welded, we're going to basically get this, here, hold on, let me find it. We're going to be getting this 3M panel bond adhesive and basically squirting it out and mixing it on a board, taking the little filler spreader and just basically filling it in all the seams. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys on time lapse. I'm just going to tack weld all this stuff, and then tomorrow Brandon's coming over and we're going to kind of fill in all the seams and all that stuff with that panel bond. If you guys don't know, that stuff is pretty much as strong or almost stronger than like welding in certain situations, because it's crazy. I don't know. Those of you guys who have used it or worked with it or whatever, that's pretty much what they use on like all the door skins and stuff. They don't even really like weld them. Like if you use that stuff, you just pretty much put that stuff on it and set it, and it's good to go. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. Gonna basically be able to cover up all this stuff, and then go ahead, grind it down, and then we're gonna go over that with the body filler, maybe like the fiberglass stuff, and hopefully within the next couple days be getting this thing, the engine bay and primer, as well as the rest of the car. Then getting pretty close to painting it. Still need to decide on a color though. So yeah, this is pretty much what it's going to be for tonight. Got it all tacked and welded and pretty much grinded down. You can see right here, I did some different stuff with that. I ended up cutting it over a little bit and tapping it down. Did a little bit more to this side, kind of smoothed that out because it was this kind of weird hump, and then it was going up like above that right there. So I kind of made it follow the line of the strut tower, so it slants down a little bit. But yeah, so that's it for tonight, and I'm coming back tomorrow and gonna be doing some other stuff, so I'm excited for that. So we get Brandon over here mixing up, or he mixed up some of that 3M panel bond, just kind of putting it on the seams of everything. We're going to go back and grind this after it all sets up, and then come back with the actual body filler. some work.
What'd you bring me?
A pie.
Oh.
One of Jesse's or the engine bay is definitely coming along quite nicely. I got most of this side finished in 80 grit. I still need to go back, and you can see like there's those little holes right there along the front. I basically need to do the same thing. You can see right there and there. Kind of finish off kind of both of the faces of these things, and then do a little bit more sanding right here with probably some 80 grit. Finish some more stuff up here. You can see I kind of filled in this top little piece right here. There's a little lip. So there's just a little skim of filler in there to kind of blend in that edge. Need to fill in some of the corners and stuff a little bit right there. Kind of went back down into here and kind of smooth out that, but I'm pretty much going to leave the rest of the back corners how they are. Because you know the most, like when you open the hood, it's going to be like, oh, you know, the pretty stuff, pretty 2J, hopefully pretty 2J, I don't know. Maybe not, it ain't going to be that pretty at first, but we'll see. So the plan is to continue sanding on this tonight with the 80 grit and stuff, and then come back tomorrow. We're going to do some of the icing. Maybe I'll start a little bit of that tonight. Basically just smooth everything over with the icing, go over a few little spots. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this. But yeah, so I need to figure out what I'm doing with that. And then, yeah, basically tomorrow I plan on priming this thing. So, I don't know, the engine bay at least, and then hopefully the rest of the body again. And then I really do need to primer the hood and do a little bit of touch-up work on it, but I'll probably end up doing that when I'm messing with repainting the front of my drift car. So I'm going to continue kind of sanding on this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the time lapses of it. Yeah. Alright guys, so I haven't really been filming a whole lot today, or last night. You can see, I don't know if this looks any different. It doesn't look any different to me, because I've been looking at it for like the past, like last night and today, and I mean, got a couple more hours into this without filming anything. You can see over there, I got a little bit more work done on that. That was kind of a weird shape right there. It kind of had like a little bit of a bow into it. So I cleaned that up a little bit. I initially wasn't really going to pay attention to this back there. And then the more I started looking at it, I was like, yeah, you're going to see a lot of that when you pop the hood on this thing. So, I kind of started working it a little bit. There was, cause this whole piece, like right here, has been replaced. If you look like right here, there's like welds that have been done. This is like it's like a information plate. And then filling in some stuff right here. But yeah, it's been kind of a pain trying to just, I mean, my damn fingers are so sore from just like jamming in like these tiny little areas, just sanding right here and sanding over here, and just, I mean, it's holy shit. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'll throw you guys on the time lapse a little bit. Most of this stuff up here that kind of has the white filler on it, that's that icing. Got most of that finalized, so now I'm just kind of working on the back side of it. It is currently, let's see, it is Thursday at 12 in the morning, so just after midnight. And so I'm still planning on getting this primer tonight, as well as getting you guys a video of it up. I don't know if I said this before, but if you guys are wondering how the hell we got these cars up here and out of the way, be sure to check out that video. I'll go ahead and link it in here. I know, a lot more of you guys are going to be watching the Supra video, and you're going to be like, what the hell happened right there? Be sure to check that out. You can see got a little bit more room in the shop now. I'm going to be working on this thing shortly, doing the paint and body work on it when this thing sits. But the plan is to hopefully get the whole thing primered again tonight, the body and stuff, as well as the engine bay. Maybe just the engine bay, and maybe, I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff to do. But I was dicking around looking on the internet for pricing for tickets to Japan. Was kind of thinking about going out there early May for the Spring Matsuri. Trying to decide if I'm going to do that. If you guys haven't seen my Japan video, I went to Japan November 2015 and had a pretty good time out there. I didn't go last year, but if you guys want to check out my Japan video, I went out there and bought a JZX90 with a 1J in it and drifted it for a couple days, and then ended up selling it back to Power Vehicles out there. If you guys are interested in stuff like that, kind of adventure-y style video, be sure to check that out. But yeah, I'm going to go and start sanding on this thing a little bit more. Holy shit. Holy shit, guys. So it is 4:30 in the morning. I've been here since like 6 or so, basically working on this thing. Took about an hour and a half, 2 hour break. But yeah, mixing up some of this is the epoxy primer, and basically I'm going to be doing the inside of this thing. Hitting that with the epoxy primer as well as the engine bay. Basically all the pieces that are, bare metal or whatever, they need to be hit with that. I'm gonna probably cover, well, maybe I won't. I'll just kind of stay away from some of that stuff a little bit. But cover up the threads on those things with some tape, and we should be ready to spray. Hopefully you guys really appreciate this. I'm planning on basically priming the whole thing. I thought about not doing that, but I figure it'd be good to kind of get it in primer, let it sit for a little while. Basically while I'm doing all the body work and stuff on the S14 and going to Texas and all that stuff, and when we get back, then it'll be time to sand it again, and then maybe we'll be getting close to base coat. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just got done with the first coat of it was kind of like 1.5 coats of the epoxy primer. You can still see it's a little bit shiny, so basically I have to wait for that to flash off. And what I mean by flash off is the solvent that's basically used, like the hardener, as well as I put a little bit of reducer in there. Basically, what it kind of like pushes the material out of the gun. I gotta wait for that to evaporate before I could kind of go over it again with the high build stuff. So yeah, you can see right here, this is it's pretty much ready to do the rest of the stuff with, or the high build primer. So I'm gonna go ahead. I went kind of low with it. There's a few little spots that went down there to metal. I just figured kind of the lower pieces of the deal. The other stuff, it'll cover metal, but it's just better to have that epoxy kind of down there at the bottom is kind of my thought, and I had a little extra in the gun. You could see it was kind of playing, the gun was spitting on me. It was like going, it was just being shitty. I don't know why. I don't know if there was something in there. But I got it done, so I went ahead and basically while this was happening, I tore the whole gun apart, cleaned it up real good. That's like one of the most important things when you're painting is keeping your paint gun super clean, and you kind of got to be like a scientist when it comes to like everything else, you know, as far as the prep and all that. So yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to spray the high build. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I'm gonna do the high build on the car, and then by the time I get, you know, a good coat, 2 coats on the car, this stuff should have been flashed off enough for me to go ahead and hit it again. Six in the morning, just finished cleaning my paint gun, and it's done. Holy shit. I mean, it's done, but it's not done. So the high build primer in the engine bay is done. Still gonna take a lot of like sanding and little, you know, fixing little stuff here and there, because basically as soon as you put the primer on it, it kind of shows you, you know, the little imperfections and stuff, and then you kind of sand them out. I got some guide coat today. So I'm gonna let this pretty much sit till after I get back with Texas. I, you know, let that primer really shrink in there, as well as the rest of the body. I got 3 good coats of primer on the body, and like 2.5 really good coats on the engine bay of high build primer. So should be plenty to sand. I mean, looking down the side of this thing in the like when it's wet and shiny, that first coat, I mean, it's a straight son bitch. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are even gonna be able to appreciate like how straight it is. Like, you can kind of see it now. I mean, look at that. Look at that roof. Like, holy shit. And we're still in the high build primer stage. So that's why it's taking so long. That's why, I mean, I'm really taking my time with this. I mean, I haven't, like, you know, it's not like I'm working on it every day, but other stuff's happening. Having a kid, trying to buy a house, you know, doing all that stuff. Trying to clean up the shop. But yeah, so I'm trying to take my time with this. The body on this thing is gonna be like, holy shit. If you guys ever have a chance to see it in person, you know, it's gonna be at events and stuff. Come check it out. If you guys are here, you know, one of the Supra lingers that just lingering here for the Supra, it's okay to subscribe. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the body work on my S14 this next week, getting that thing repainted. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think of the whole tubs now that you could actually see it in one color. Imagine this either in like a black or like a purple or a blue, or, you know, something like that with a nice pretty shiny 2J in it. I mean, I definitely think it's different. I don't think I've actually seen a Supra with actual tubs like this in the front. I've seen, you know, some crazy ass Supra at SEMA with like a crazy force or like ram air and a bunch of stuff. But I mean, even when I went to Real Street Performance in Florida, there wasn't any like crazy engine bays. It was like they welded the hole shut and painted the bays, but it wasn't like anybody went to this extent, which I wouldn't have probably done this if it wasn't for having the issues with you know, the cutout engine or the cutout tubs and kind of being, you know, not super hard to find. But I was like, yeah, you know, we'll do something different and really make this thing my Supra. So yeah, again, appreciate you guys watching. That's all primered up in there, so that's good to go. But yeah, again, stay tuned for the next update. Next update's probably going to be sanding and doing that. You know, some of you guys were talking crap saying basically like part whatever, you know, 10,000 and whatever, still sanding and doing body work on the Supra. Hopefully that's not the case, but definitely want to have this thing running and driving this summer, and you know, taking it to some events and stuff. As soon as it's painted and the engine is set in there, I don't think I'm gonna do like a final, like, you know, like end all be all like engine bay setup with it, or like engine setup. I think I'm gonna just kind of get it running for a little bit on kind of a more basic, more budget friendly setup for the engine, and then I mean, I could always upgrade it in the future. It'll give you guys plenty of videos later. For now, I'm gonna edit this video. You guys are seeing this thing at like 6 at night, so that means within this 12 hours I edited, uploaded it, and slept. So, yep, again, thank you guys for watching.